Yeah, just starting the announcement that so in 2021, we partnered with the Cottage Center for Population Health to conduct a study about how the COVID-19 pandemic impacted our population experiencing homelessness in South County. And it's a photography study, so we got some really interesting photos out of it, as well as some really good data from the focus group discussions. So we will be presenting the findings from that at the April 19th all-call RAP meeting at 3 p.m. on Zoom. And then there will actually be a photo exhibit in May at the library, at the Faulkner Gallery. So we'll share more info about that. But we hope to see you all at the all-call RAP.
Then another general announcement, and could probably lead us into kind of an outreach discussion on the east side, but we were able to meet with Immigrant Hope, and they will be partnering with us at our NNCs now moving forward. But in particular, we had the discussion with them because with the labor line being fenced off, and then the hard work of Odin and CityNet and Good Sam with their Spanish outreach, we're seeing a lot more individuals that need those services are, they're attending the rescue mission now and either staying there or utilizing the neighborhood navigation center. So we wanted to make sure that we had the appropriate services that they could be eligible for. So we're really excited. We scheduled to have them have their first tabling on the 19th as well. So in 2 weeks. So that'll give us enough time to work with outreach providers to make sure that they know that day is coming, that those services will be there on that day. We're asking for a flyer that Immigrant Hope will be sending to us with that information and just time and location so people can know. And then hopefully we can start making those connections. And so I don't know if Odin or anyone else that's been conducting outreach on the east side, specifically like how it's looking with the labor line. Even Eric, you can also update the group with just the rescue mission too.
Yeah, the first week at the rescue mission NNC, the first week after the labor line had been fenced off, we had about double the population we usually do. And then the next week we had probably 15 more people than we usually do. And then the next week, maybe 5 more people. And then this last week we were kind of back to normal. So I think it's not what it was when the fence was first placed up, but we still are seeing some impact.
And I wanted to add on to Eric's point, just doing outreach by the labor line around there. Of course, I still see laborers around there, but not so many, encampments or individuals just hanging out there for prolonged periods of time. Nothing that we've seen, in the past with multiple tarps, multiple tents with multiple people inside. I think so far the fence is really working really well, keeping, the labor line as it should be. Where the rest of the individuals that were over there have kind of dispersed out towards like the underpasses. With those are pretty much par for the course, kind of in places that we've known that individuals would go over there. So just touching base with them over that ways and then redirecting them towards shelter has just been a little bit of the priority there.
The laborers had moved over around the corner to that gas station, and that's kind of where they were starting to populate. Are you seeing that with the labor line being fenced off, that they're starting to move back to that original spot? Or are they still kind of, hanging out or waiting to be picked up by the gas station?
It's still pretty much close to the gas station. I would say the population's been cut in half in recent times. I just don't know if the project they've been working on has been finished or not, or because of the weather or anything like that. Can't say anything quite for certain for another few weeks or so. But we are seeing, at least last time I checked, like 10 individuals that are around there who have moved towards towards the area of the fence. But we're still seeing impacts towards the gas station there.
I don't know if Joelle, if you have anything regarding from the city's perspective with the fencing. I know Liz kind of updated us, but timeline or
At this moment, we don't have a timeline of when we're gonna remove the fence for the courtyard. I do want to clarify, we're not fencing off the labor line. The labor line is still open. The labor line is the sidewalk. It's 150 feet of Yonanali Street. The courtyard, we're still doing some structural repairs. We're getting it sandblasted and adding a coating to prevent graffiti. We're also adding new trash containers there. But at this time, we don't have a date set in stone.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Hi.
You're our only resident right now. So I don't know if you had anything to bring to the group of any activity that you're seeing on the east side.
I hadn't thought about it in
You can
advance, but
you can think about it for a second. I know I just kind of put you on the spot. And then I'll go to Mayor Rouse's hands up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
of
just
course.
wanted to make a comment about with Odin and Path and all that, I have not been hearing from AC Ramirez in the last, couple of months, which means that you guys are clearly doing your job out there. And I do appreciate that because it has been a chronic problem and I've known Alan and Rosie forever. And so does Al. I know Al knows him pretty well too. And it's I don't know if they, I'm sure that if they have an issue, they usually communicate with me pretty regularly. So anyway, I want to give you kudos on that.
We appreciate it, Mayor. And the folks over there at AC Ramirez, they've been really reaching out to us for the past few weeks, and we've been really happy to accommodate them.
Great. Would it be all right, City Net and Good Sam, if you have any updates for the group on just general outreach in the area?
Hi, this is Saul with CityNet. So our project is for surf. So we cover like the corridor for the railroad and the highway. Because the shelter path and the rescue mission both fall on the corridor, we do a significant amount of outreach in that area. I believe we have like one person that has a housing opportunity. She might be moving in sometime next week, which is an amazing thing for us. We've been doing outreach for like along behind the bird refuge. We were just covering that area because after the flooding and like the water came in, a lot of people were displaced. So we were just trying to reconnect with people. Following the flooding, there was also postings for clearing. So we've also just been in the area trying to get an idea of where folks are going. A lot of people tend to stick around Dwight Murphy Field. So I believe our PLHA team has been increasing outreach in that area so that they can connect with people that have been going back to the Dwight Murphy area. That's about it on our end, at least.
Thank you, Saul.
Yeah, and so as far as the PLHA side, we're just continuing our outreach that we usually provide on Mondays on Milpas. We're having daily underpasses outreach, so we are trying to continue connecting between our PLHA and as you guys got to meet Saul right now covering the surf. So you guys are definitely getting some extra love and support in that area right now, with multiple contracts being able to collaborate and kind of land over one another. To follow up on what Saul said with Dwight Murphy, we have been making more contact over there. Specifically this week, we had two individuals that we've been working with. One, we're able to schedule an appointment with Immigrant Hope and working towards that. The second, we were assisting with being able to connect the other individual with the application and process for some food stamps. With both projects, we actually have beds at PATH. So this is something that is amazing because we're able to work with them. A lot of them are coming from the east side area and around those, areas of concern. So along with surf, but with our PLHA, we actually just processed another application for permanent housing yesterday for an individual that is staying at PATH from the east side area. So there are some movements, and we definitely wanted to keep the community understanding the process because one, that we keep sheltered at a safe space like PATH where they're having multiple collaborations with case management from PATH, case management from CityNet, and working together with the goal of actually getting them permanently housed. So those are two individuals from both contracts, along with collaboration with Pat, that we're all working together to get individuals off the street into shelter and then into housing. Other than that, we've been continuing to, come to the rescue mission on Wednesdays, part of the Eastside in collaboration with them. Had multiple contacts with individuals and services, along with just connecting with the service providers and just doing our basic outreach to just help everyone get document ready and really connected to services.
Anise, I don't know if you have an update. I know you all tend to focus on other regions more so, but if there's anything to the east side.
We definitely focus our efforts in our specific regions. I know that we were part of your walk the other day, which was really effective. We've been really focusing on really shutting down our warming shelters, getting people into shelter, whether it's Path, Dignity Moves, or Hedges House of Hope. I know it's in a totally different region, but I just have a really good tell right now. We have been able to probably clear all of the park in IV after showing up in 2009 and having a staple of about like 5 to 7 older individuals that would just booze it up all day in the park. And we just put the last one into Hedges House of Hope last week, which was amazing. We've been going out every day. Hey, you ready? Hey, let's have some coffee. Let's have some food. Let's go for a walk. And finally, I think it was, I believe on Monday, accepted shelter and just said, I think I'm ready. I've been here in the park for about 15 years and was living out of a tent in one of the local churches around UCSB, and finally said, I think I'm ready. And to see him from going from the park to seeing him like a day and a half later when he showered, when we've overfed him, when he's overslept, and just to see the general different, just this like personal display of him was remarkable, right? And so it was, I just really wanted to share on that one because I know that these boys have been trying very hard to clear this space. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a pretty good one. I met him in 2019 when we opened our pallets in IV, and I found him in a tent hanging out. I offered him shelter. I offered him the pallets. He was like number 2 on the list for Dignity Moves when we opened, or not for Dignity Moves, for Hedges House of Hope. And he always just said, no, I'm fine. No. And on Monday, he finally said yes.
I think those are the stories we'd love to hear on Denise, is because that's and no matter what region it is and no matter what area it is, that's the outlook and, persistence and love and care and all those things, and just waiting for those opportunities, but connecting those, with another human being and is building that rapport is when we finally get the opportunities to really support them and get them to the next stage. So that's amazing.
I mean, like, those are the stories that keep me going, right? After how many tries have we had with him? How many times have we sat with him? How many coffees have we had with him? How many PB&Js have we had with him? But all of that stuff is important because it led to Monday, right? It led to him saying, guys, people just keep coming back. And that's great, right? Because we were able to build enough rapport to say, hey, let's go. Like, we've been waiting for you. And so, I've had a very long week when it comes to outreach this week. And just those are the kind of stories that personally keep me going, right? So.
Well, thank you for sharing, even though if it wasn't in our region. But I mean, again, that's happening everywhere. There's so many individuals that for years, there's been those attempts and those touches that just, it really does take time.
It reminds me of our walk that we had whatever day of the week that this was.
Tuesday.
There we go. I remember that Free spoke, in this big group of people. And I picked up Free in Alameda Park. when we moved her into Dignity Moves. I physically went with my truck and I put all her stuff in the truck. We put her in the car. We led her to Dignity Moves. I put all her stuff in front of her pallet and we opened her door so she could see everything. And I said, "Are you ready?" And she goes, "No, I'm not ready. I want to shower. So when I step into my house, I'm clean and ready." Right? That's a big deal for a female that's been outside for so long. And to see the huge transition in her, for her to be able to address, there was like 26 people at this walk, for her to be able to like speak and say, "Hey, you know, these people gave me a space to actually be accepted." And like, that's important, you know?
And she looks so different. Like I think that's my
Yes.
favorite too. It's like their transformation when someone comes indoors, just visually, but then the energy too. It's just, yeah, it's amazing to see.
It's amazing what sometimes we take for granted, right? Housing, food, sleep, all the survival things that we're so used to. But when our clients get that, like when people arrive to Hedges House of Hope, they sleep for like 72 hours. They're just exhausted. And then they overeat, right? They're starving. And then they shower more than once a week. And all those just very basic things, you know, you see that, you know, like you said, in Free, it's, she just looks like a regular person now. Her confidence is different. Her demeanor is different. She walks into a room with confidence, something that you didn't see from our clients before. When they walk into a room, they cower because they think less of themselves. Well, when we get a hold of them, or at least when I try to get a hold of them, I want to see that change in them because they matter. They matter to me. They matter to us. That's why we're here, right?
Mm-hmm. I had a question, Al. I know for the nights and weekends, you know, you're focusing primarily on the waterfront and State Street, but I'm just curious if if your team ever overflows to Milpa sometimes and kind of what that evening and weekends, nights looks like.
Yeah, so what we're noticing a little bit more of right now is because they start 11:30 to 10 p.m. The 11 to about 3 portion, because we really want to focus on the evenings and weekends, right, for the downtown area. Yes, that's where the underpasses come in on the east side and the waterfront, and even following up with, like, on Thursdays we have 4 members of the PLHA team on for that period of time, where they're able to reach out to Dwight Murphy and all those areas. So we've continued, overflowing to that area and really putting a more focus on management during that time frame, because that's the little bit of time frame that our evening and weekend nights have, only because that's when DMVs are open, so security office is open. So there's a short period of time that we can focus on the document readiness and actually appointments, along with providing extra support and service on the east side and beachfront areas. After that period, then like I said, they usually take their lunch around 4 o'clock. From there, they start hitting and focusing specifically on the parking structure, the stairwells. 1100 block we've been focusing a lot on and got a lot of clearing, and a big part of the businesses. 15 West, was it 15 West Figueroa? Right there was a concern for PD and for the community. But I believe we've gotten, it's definitely simmered down. So like just yesterday, we reached out to 9 businesses. On an average, we're reaching about anywhere from 9 to 12, 13 businesses a day, just consistently checking in on those areas. But yes, to answer your question, we do have a time frame on a daily basis, between Thursday and Sunday, able to get out there with the evening and weekend focused on the downtown area.
Thank you. I'm wondering, slightly off topic for this area, but did CityNet, were you all able to sign your MOU with UPRR? And
so know that we're just waiting for UPRR to sign that. And so just an update for everyone on that. So that is a contract that's not going to be ran by myself here in Santa Barbara County because it's not it's a citywide, it's a CityNet long contract. So for all our regions, so we actually go, I found out we go as far as Arizona for UPR, and they have worked their way this way to Santa Barbara. This is the first time they've done anything in like the Central Coast, Santa Barbara County, this region. So I'm working directly with one of our other property regional managers in Orange County that runs that contract. So what's going to happen is the 17th, mid-April, is when they're looking to come down here and start working on the clearings of a large area between, for us, you know, Carpinteria up to Goleta. That'll be focused in our area. So our case managers that are familiar with these encampments, familiar with the individuals, are going to connect with the two case managers will be coming down that work that contract to make sure not only before it gets cleared out that we try to engage and hopefully see as much shelter available with safe spaces. And I'm working very closely with Lucille on that. We actually have been talking about it this morning to see what options are available, and then obviously we'll follow up after. But because it's a UPR contract with CityNet, these two case managers actually go on the tracks with UPRR. They have like their own security / sheriff, you know, something to just in case anything goes, that's all connected with UPRR. So, but it wasn't signed as of yesterday. We're ready to go. Team's ready to go. We've been doing extensive outreach to these individuals that, you know, we're concerned about. And then just waiting for that to go through. But we're hopefully everything goes through because the plan is they're going to be out here around the 17th or mid-April.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Getting back to you, Joel. I meant to get back to you, but there's an update.
We are nearing the closed session portion, so I know, again, it's smaller session, but nothing from you, Chris, then? That's all right.
No, yeah, that's it. Just
All
happy to
right.
see all your faces and thank you for all the work you all do. That's it.
Thank you.
Bye.
We appreciate you, Chris.
And Chris, just before you jump off really quick, I did want to share with the group, I think most of you know, but this will be my last ERAP that I will be hosting. I will be handing it over to Landon Rank and the rest of the team. I'm transitioning to work with Ben Romo and Associates consulting firm. So it's been great working with you all for this short period of time, but I've really enjoyed interacting with the community and, you know, getting to know you, Mayor Rouse. So you'll be in good hands, but the good work continues.
Oh.
Yeah, Mayor Rouse.
Yeah, thanks, Catherine. I appreciate it. And the comment I was going to make is that given I was with all my colleagues who like to go to meetings, hire consultants, and form committees, and it was refreshing to talk to this group that's actually the boots on the ground group that are actually out there on the street doing the things that we talk about in theory, but you guys are the practice. So I do appreciate your efforts and hope to hang out with Landon and keep doing this because it's good stuff. You guys are doing things that are very positive. And congratulations, Catherine.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited and I'll be around. I'll be advocating for more housing. So that's what we know. That's the other component of all this hard work.
You took the words out of my mouth, Catherine. That's what we're looking forward to. Yeah, you have that connection and just continue advocacy in the next part of your journey. But I know we have a great team with you guys over there that'll continue this process moving forward.
Best wishes to you, Catherine, in your new adventure.
Thank you, Chris.
I'll say goodbye, friends.
All right.
Bye,
Thank
Chris.
you. See ya.